Welcome to the More Life, Less Drama podcast with mindset expert and master executive coach, Prue, who will teach you how to finish your first goal and then every goal using her simple, proven formula. If you're ready to live more life, have more fun, and reach your potential with less drama, you're in the right place.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of More Life, Less Drama. So today I was inspired by a client. I already had some notes written for this week's episode, and I pretty much thrown it all out the window, honestly. And I'm just going to speak what I need to say, and I'm sure it's going to be quite short, this episode, which sometimes it just needs to be. And like I said, I was inspired by a client today when he said to me he likes to define things for himself. And it reminded me that I actually like to do that too. And I've never shared that on this podcast, that it is really important to define what things mean to you personally. And today I was going to be talking about growing visibility and how that can help support your goals. Well, I'm still going to talk about that. That's exactly the topic of today's episode. But I wanted to start it differently. I want to actually come from a different place. And I'm going to start by defining what the word visibility means to me. And I encourage you, when you listen to my definition, I encourage you to actually define it for yourself, because it might be slightly different. And that's okay. I'm not getting out the dictionary to define the word. I'm just using my brain to figure out, in the context of achieving goals, what does visibility mean to me? And basically I came up with a couple of simple explanations. And the first one was, visibility means not hiding. Yeah, it's the simplest way that I can define it. It's not hiding. And the energy in hiding opposed to being visible are two vastly different things. So not hiding means not doing things in secret, and or not pretending you have not grown and changed just to stay the same in the eyes of the people that you know. So I'm going to repeat that again, because it's a little bit backwards language. I get this. Not hiding means not doing things in secret, or pretending you have not grown and changed to stay the same in the eyes of people you know. Because being visible is all about valuing your own ideas and being proud of your own ideas, and being proud that you actually show up to be the person that is claiming a space, claiming this is my belief and this is why I believe it to be true for me. And when you're not doing that, you are just playing small, maybe undervaluing your own position in the world. And therefore what happens is, the cost of that, the cost of staying small and hiding out, is that you stay the same. And as you know, over here, as somebody that is all about personal growth and development and striving to achieve goals that you've never achieved before in your life, it requires a different mindset, which is basically a different person. So you can't be the same person and achieve things that you don't believe are true. So being visible is a big part of that. And it also works with the concept of being unshakable. And I love the word unshakable. I love my belief that I am unshakable. Unshakable basically means, if we're going into definitions, it basically means being okay with anything that happens to you in your circumstances and not letting your circumstances deter you from achieving your goals. Like being unshaken in anything that gets thrown at you in life. Because, as we all know, there's so much shit that gets thrown at you in life, and so you have to learn to navigate them. And it's not to say that it's not hard and you don't feel negative emotions, because you'll feel all of those things. But to know that you're going to be okay no matter what is the biggest gift you can give yourself. So being visible is not hiding out. Okay, we've clarified that. So the opposite of visibility is being invisible, right? Being invisible is staying the same. It's hiding out and making sure you just stay insignificant enough, like intentionally, even though you might be doing it unintentionally, so you get overlooked. And if you get overlooked, even though that might be perceived as a bad thing, really what's happening is it keeps you safe and it keeps you out of conflict. It keeps you being in difficult situations where you might have to justify or defend yourself and your ideas and your beliefs. So that's what being invisible looks like. And it's an interesting topic. It really gets my brain ticking over about what visibility means to me in relation to my goals and in my life. How do I want to show up? Do I want to show up in visibility and possibly achieve some backlash and get a bit of pushback and a bit of backlash and maybe lose people? And am I okay with that? Or would I prefer just being invisible enough that I fly under the radar and just hope that I will achieve my goals without anything changing? And I'm just going to say, look, I'm just going to throw it out here. If you want to do things in secret and fly under the radar and achieve goals that are nothing you've achieved before, it's never going to work. I'm just going to say it flat out. Because you need to do things differently to achieve things you've never achieved. You need to be a different person. And if you're just playing it small, playing it casual, being aloof and pretending that doesn't matter, well, nothing in your life is going to change. So visibility is a key piece to personal development. Because if you think about the goals that you have in life and all the things that I've heard people say to me about what they want to achieve, the idea of achieving goals is because you want something to be different in your life. I'm pretty sure I'm correct when I say that. So think about it. Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to run that marathon? Why do you want to earn money? Why do you want that promotion? Why do you want to get your degree? Why do you want to learn meditation? What's the point of it? And all those things require visibility. You can't do them flying under the radar. Well, you can try, but I tell you what, it's going to be a slower road, that is for sure. So visibility is basically all about actively participating in your life. It's not just letting things happen by chance. It's putting a stake in the ground and claiming that as your truth, as the thing that you believe in and that you will fight for. I read an email from Mark Manson, and I'm on his email list, and he was basically saying, if you haven't pissed somebody off and somebody doesn't like you out in the world, you're really not trying hard enough and you're not achieving your potential. And I totally agree. If everybody likes you and you're just pleasing everybody, chances are that you are actually not satisfied with what you're achieving, because basically you're just flying under the radar and doing things that keep you in comfort rather than stepping outside of your comfort zone and really striving for what your potential is. I know you have a lot of potential, and I'm fully here to support you in anything that you do. So I'm wondering where you feel like you sit in visibility in your own life. Are you fully visible? Are you stepping in and out of visibility? Or are you fully invisible? And I've got to say, being invisible is the worst feeling. I have so many people come to me and say that they feel invisible in their own families, in their own life. And as much as I'm an advocate for you create your feelings, yes, I am, but your circumstances are important as well. You know, the people that you surround yourself with. I just literally did a whole episode on this 2 episodes ago. And it's really important to surround yourself with the right people. So just a heads up, if you need to listen to that episode, go back and listen to episode 64 on intentional community, building your dream team. Clock where you are right now. Like, do you feel like you're invisible, or do you feel like you're super visible? And, you know, where is it helping or hindering your achievement of your own goals? Because that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you achieving your goals. I know it's tough to achieve goals, and I just need to say it again. If you're trying to fly under the radar and achieve goals, it's just not going to happen. You need to have some sort of visibility, because achieving the goal that you've never achieved before requires you to be different. And sometimes being different needs to not sometimes, all the time, it needs to be stepping outside your comfort zone. What does it look like in real life? Because visibility might sound pretty abstract. So we can look at things like workplace visibility. If you're at work and you feel like you're not achieving what you want to achieve at work and you feel invisible at work, so what can you do? Maybe you can speak up in a meeting. Maybe you can volunteer for different projects. Instead of letting the same old people do the work or doing all the exciting things that come up that are new, maybe you can be like, hey, actually, I might do that. It's like, yeah, okay, great. You can do that. Brings visibility to you. I just joined a network group, and I'd only been there for a couple of months, and I was approached to do part of the leadership team in the education space. And I was like, okay. The 5-year ago me would not have said okay so quickly. I would have went, hell no, why would they want me? I don't think I'd be good at that. But now, because I've done what I'm telling you to do, which is step into visibility like little bits at a time, I can have the confidence in myself that I can do that thing, do and step into some more visibility more easily, and with the feeling of being unshakable, that I can do that even if I mess up and even if I'm still nervous and I don't know as much as I should. It's totally fine. I'm going to figure it out. But yeah, like I said, 5 years ago, no way, I wouldn't have said yes to that so quickly. So what else can you do? Maybe if you've got goals and you feel like you have been flying under the radar with them, like just doing them in secret. I know so many people that do this with health goals. They just create a goal in their own mind that they want to go after, and they never really tell anybody or share with anybody, even their family members, that that's happening. And then it's really hard to be held accountable or to be supported even when you don't share your goals. So maybe being visible for you is just sharing a goal with somebody that you know is going to support you. Or if you need somebody to be accountable to, maybe you find that accountability person. You're like, hey, I really want to get to the gym 3 times a week and I'm just not helping myself. I keep sabotaging myself. Would you be able to check in with me every evening to see if I've gone, and I can give you a yes/no answer? And that is you being vulnerable and visible, and it will keep you accountable as well, and you're more likely to achieve your goal there. Maybe you've got plans to develop yourself professionally, and to do that you need to get to networking groups and conferences and all those fun things that are out in the world. And you've been putting them off because you're like, oh, it's not really my thing. I don't like really hanging around people at those events. I don't know what to say. And you've got all the thoughts, so you haven't actually ever gone to anything up until this point in time. So maybe the thing for you is, right, I'm going to find a group of like-minded professionals that meet somewhere. Maybe it's a Rotary group. Maybe it's a women in business group. Whatever the case is, maybe that's what you need to do. You need to step in and find a group that that's going to help you professionally, even though it feels super uncomfortable. And you start going to something. Maybe it's once a month. Maybe you're passionate about climate change and you do bits in your own house to support the cause, but you've never really announced it to the outside world, and you don't really, see yourself as an activist or even somebody that campaigns to help the environment or anything. But maybe for you might feel living out of integrity when you haven't actually proclaimed that that's what I really want in the world. I can see that this as a problem and I really like to help fix it, but you haven't done anything about it. And because you're too scared of the visibility, maybe your step into visibility is things like just volunteering. Is there a Clean Up Australia Day happening? Is there some local charity that you can get together with that you can just show up and, again, be surrounded by like-minded people that get you and, understand your perspective on the topic that you're talking about. So it's really important to connect with like-minded people here. It's like a common theme. It's a big common theme. But it also is underlying you stepping into visibility. And lastly, maybe there's these everyday interactions that can occur for you to step into visibility. Maybe you always keep things to yourself about how you've had a rough day or any emotional stuff that has come up for you. Maybe you being visible is saying, when someone says to you, maybe your spouse or your friend, they say, "How are you?" And instead of just answering the same old way that you've answered for the last 40 years, "Yeah, good, thanks." Maybe you could say, "Actually, I've been struggling a little bit." You could just start being open and honest. That might cause a whole lot of emotions in you, and that's okay. Stepping outside your comfort zone and doing something different and being visible is really important. It's just an important piece of the puzzle. Maybe it's just asking for help. Maybe you're someone, again, that just thinks, "I've got to do everything alone," and you just show up and just get everything done all by yourself. But you'd really love to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I'm moving a heap of furniture around in my house today or my business. I was wondering if you'd like to come and help me." That's you being visible and you putting yourself out there as, what? I am worthy of asking for support and asking for help. And maybe that's the thing that is stepping you into visibility. So I just want you to figure this out for yourself. Like, if any of those scenarios work, maybe try it out. I don't need you to be doing anything massive, but just need to do these small steps to step into visibility so you can create the change for yourself in your life. Because remember, if you want to achieve your goals, you have to be different. And if flying under the radar and being invisible and not claiming your piece in the world is the thing holding you back, I want you to try this out. I need you to try this out to see if this makes a difference. And that's all I can do for you. I can just offer the suggestion. I'm just going to end with this. Being visible for me was doing a podcast and speaking at events and doing Zoom calls and webinars and classes and all that type of stuff. And it has been the single thing that has exponentially grown my self-confidence, my self-worth. My thoughts about myself have changed dramatically because I have forced myself into doing this. I can't recommend it enough. If you ever get a chance to say yes to something that requires you speaking up and having eyes on you that haven't been on you before, and you just sharing some knowledge that you have, maybe it's something super simple. It doesn't have to be anything, out there or crazy. It can just be a simple idea that you have. If you ever get the opportunity to do that, say yes. Because as somebody that is an introvert, that has never been taught how to speak or to step into that place, it has been the biggest thing that has changed me for sure. And 66 episodes in of this podcast alone, I had done other things prior to that sort of stepped me into little bits of visibility to start with, but now I fully feel like a different person. My self-concept of me is so different in the most positive way ever. And so I highly encourage you to do this. This is a huge piece of personal growth, and being visible is an important step. So my friends, go out, see where being visible is important for you and your life and your goals. And as usual, I encourage you to reach out and let me know how this episode was helpful and how you are stepping into visibility for yourself. Okay, my friends, have a lovely day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of More Life, Less Drama. If you want to learn more about Prue's work, visit head-coach.com.au. Be sure to subscribe and follow the show so you don't miss an episode. Have a great week.